Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about getting rich quick and making money scrapping gold from e-scrap. I invite you to stay for the entire video as I have a kicker ending. Now this is not a how-to video on how to process your scrap. This is how to make money. Okay? How to get money from your gold. How to save money. Some of the scams, rip-offs, and things that are out there. Some of the things that I have learned. I'm retired from the HVACR business. I do this as a hobby. My bills do not rely on this, okay? I've been able to process some of this individually, so I know what's in it. I can help you out there. If you need videos to some help processing your scrap, I invite you to watch Indeed It Does here on YouTube with Golden Scrap. He does some awesome videos on gold, silver, and palladium. Also, Moose Scrapper does some good videos on the bleach and peroxide methods, and they will help you out processing your scrap. Do not buy any videos. If you're going to buy a book, buy Hoax book on scrapping. It's the only one you need. Now, let's get down to business. This is 6.662 grams of 22 karat gold that I process from the scrap. Okay? Most of your scrap is in 10 karat gold on your e-scrap. If you're scrapping jewelry and things, they will be labeled. Alright? And you will want to use the reverse electroplating on things like that. Your RF connectors and your scrap watch bands and plated and filled jewelry. Alright? Make sure you use the correct method. Now for e-scrap and CPUs and things, you will want to use the Aqua Regia method. Make sure you have the materials that you need. It does require a small investment. It takes money to make money. Okay? Process your gold. Refine your gold. Alright, 22 karat gold. I've gotten as high as 23 karat confirmed. I can't confirm that I've gotten 24 karat, but I'm working on that. Like I said, I'm retired. I do this as a hobby. My bills do not rely on this. You want to do things as cheaply as you can. So when you are buying your dishes and stuff for your reverse electroplating, your cathodes and anodes, get those from a junkyard. Your battery charger with a manual setting, get that from a garage sale, a swap meet. Go to your local Salvation Army. They will carry things like that. Okay, the whole idea on this video is to do things as cheap as possible. I'm going to teach you some of the things that I have learned. Now, you will need a hot plate doing the Aqua Regia method, and you can buy that from a yard sale, a swap meet. I bought a new one for $20. These coffee pots, I get them from a place called Area 51. Well, I call it Area 51. The guy has everything. All right, he's a swap meet. I buy these for $1. Borosilicate beakers. These take some heat, just like the coffee pots. You'll need to heat things up. I bought a set of 5 for $7. I get the droppers, 3 for $1 at the dollar store. I buy my funnels from the dollar store. I use these ice cream containers as catch pans. They're great for washing your gold and your scrap, making sure you get all the gold off of them, and they're free. You get them with your ice cream. Smelting dishes. I buy the cheap clay smelting dishes. As long as you dry them out, I put them on my wood stove in the garage, and I dry them out and get the moisture out, they will last for a long time. I've used this little one for at least 100 applications. It does have one small crack. This shiny stuff is borax. That is a laundry additive. You can buy 5 pounds of it for $2. And that melts and gives you a nice slippery surface for when you're smelting your gold. You can dump it out of your dishes. You do not have to spend, I've seen $16 for one dish with a little wire clip to it. I use a set of channel locks to grab my dishes and dump them out. You just don't squeeze too hard. I use a lot of mason jars. I use the pint quartz. This is a smallmouth jar. The thing I like about them, this is a cap to a shaker cheese container. It has these nice holes in it. Alright, if you watch the other videos, they'll teach you how to make a bubbler to get the gold off of. See how I have gold fingers in here? Some of the fingers from RAM sticks and video cards. Okay, they will teach you how to make a bubbler. The air hoses fit real nice in here. You use aquarium air hose. You can use an aquarium air pump. And it keeps your chemicals from splashing around. I do this in my garage. I don't want my tools getting covered with acids. And I'll show you how to recycle some of your chemicals in a little bit too. I use the largemouth jars because they hold a funnel real nice. You don't have to worry about them tipping over and, you know, spilling your solutions. Filters. I get coffee filters, 200 for $1.50. I also get these Wattman filters. This is a half micron filter. They catch just about everything. Unfortunately, they get clogged up. If you watch the videos, they fold up their filters and they put them in a funnel. They get clogged up very easily, especially these fine filters. What I do is I get the 4-pound tubs of macaroni salad from Walmart. It's a nice container. I drill holes in the bottom of it, all the way around the outside and in the middle. And these round filters fit very nicely. They're 12.5 centimeter filters, and they fit really nice inside those containers. It gives you a large surface area, and it's very good for straining out your solutions. What else do I get? Carbon rods. Where's my carbon rod? You can get carbon rods. I got this one out of a 6-volt lantern battery. Be careful cutting them open. They do have acid in them, and you don't want them to discharge on you. But you get carbon rods for free, stirring rods. Stannous chloride. This is tin solder for electrical components, not the lead solder or the silver solder you get for plumbing. Okay, but there is a recipe online. You go on YouTube and you can make your own stannous chloride. Check your solutions. Make sure you get all your gold. Now, I had already gotten started the very first time I did this. I had all my stuff. I didn't have any stannous chloride. And my first precipitation, I don't know if you guys can see this, kind of a purplish color. Okay, that's what my gold came out as, this purple powder in the bottom of the beaker. Where'd my gold go? I couldn't figure it out. And it would have taken, I live in the sticks, it would have taken me a week and a half to get some stannous chloride. I don't have anything like an Edmund Scientific or anything close by. So I went online and you can make your own. It works very well. I use it. Cheap, 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 cheap. Do everything as cheaply as you can. Alright, your chemicals. I pay $7 at the hardware store. I can't get it at my Lowe's or Home Depot. This is muriatic acid, hydrochloric acid, and it is 31.45%. $7 at the hardware store. Do not buy it for $30 online. Okay? Don't pay the bend over, grab your ankle prices that there are online. I am an eBay member, and there's a lot of good people on eBay. There's a lot of ripoffs. Nitric acid. This is $24 for 1 pint. You're using it sparingly. Okay, it lasts quite a while, and I haven't been able to find a better price on it unless you are buying in bulk. But you can buy sodium nitrate. I buy 10 pounds for $9. I think it was $15 for shipping. Okay, works just as well. Cheap. Sodium metabisulfite. Get the Regent grade. I use this on my last 2 precipitations. You're going to do some nitric washes. Always refine your gold. Refine your gold. Okay, you can melt down the 10 carat. You're going to get $15 junk weight. Okay, refine your gold. I use that on my last couple of precipitations. You can use stump out. This is something else I can't get at my Lowe's or Home Depot. I have to go to the feed store. I don't know if New York has some kind of weird chemical laws or something. You can't pan for gold in New York. You can pan for gold in China. But any gold found in New York belongs to New York for some reason. Our gun laws are ridiculous. That's another video. No, I don't want to get started on that. This is sulfuric acid. Very, very corrosive. Sorry about the manicure. I had something spill over. It's a results of acid burn. But you're using this just a couple drops to precipitate the lead out of your solution. Refine your gold. Okay? You're only using a couple drops. It was $27 for the 2-ounce bottle, but you're only using a couple drops. As you can see, I've used quite a, well, it's almost full still, and I've used that on many occasions. Let's get into your scrap. Okay, like I said, your scrap is going to be in 10 karat gold, and it's usually in 1 micron. Now, some of your older stuff, your Motorola's, will be in a higher micron. A micron, if you took a human hair and cut it into 100 pieces and took one of those pieces, that's how thin a micron is. Your newer greenboard stuff is 0.73 microns. God bless the Chinese, they make things faster using less materials. Okay, so people who buy computers, they make it cheaper for us. Bad for scrapping, good for computers. Alright, like I said, there are good people on eBay. I bought a bunch of these K5s and K6s. It came with a bunch of the black fiber boards, and I avoid the black fiber boards like the plague. There is quite a bit of gold in these. It would have a row of gold pins all around it, a couple rows, and there is gold underneath this heatsink. You chip out these monolithics. Clean your scrap. Alright, you want nothing but whatever contains gold in your solutions. Otherwise you pollute your solutions. These are very heavily laden with iron. They are highly magnetic. And I've got to find a way to get the iron out of the solutions, so you're already at a loss. But anyway, it came with a bunch of these. I told him he could keep them. He said no, I had to take them anyway. But he sent me 12 RAM sticks. Now you're going to say, oh well, big deal. You know, it was only 12 RAM sticks. But he didn't have to do that. He was a very nice guy, and I would buy from him all day long. While we're in RAM sticks, if you are going to buy the whole RAM sticks, pay $10 a pound. Okay, they have the monolithics that you can get the palladium. There is gold threads in some of these chips. Don't over incinerate. You will vaporize your gold threads in here. There's gold thread wires. You will vaporize them. I don't know how many times I hear people say, oh, where'd my gold go? You vaporized it, dummy. And it would have the fingers, the fingerboards that go across here, 2 sets. It takes over 200 of those sets of fingerboards to get 1 gram of 10 karat gold. So now you cut that in half. 10 karat gold is 41.3%. That's, okay, that's the bare minimum that they can put in it to call it 10 karat. I usually cut it in half. Alright, 18 cents a gram for your fingers. You can buy the fingers already pre-cut. If they're not neatly cut, you have to go back and do it. Otherwise, you pollute your chemicals. They're already going to get other metals in there, and you don't want to pollute them too heavy. Alright, 18 cents a gram for the fine trimmed ram fingers. The gold fingers. I see people on eBay. There's me and a couple other guys, and we bid on scrap. We try to get $86 is what we pay for the ram fingers per pound. And some newbie will go on and bid $150. Well, you've already paid twice as much as what they're worth. You will never make a dime overpaying for scrap. There are commercial sites. You can go online. There are commercial sites. Okay, they buy your scrap, and they have lists of how much gold is in each piece of scrap. Different CPUs, things of that nature. Okay, they will tell you what is in your scrap. Now, they're overinflated. Their numbers are overinflated by about 15%. And why do they do that? To entice you to sell them your scrap. Now you're thinking you're going to get 24 karat price for your scrap. And what they send you is 40% of what your 10 karat gold weight is worth. You get this measly little check. Alright, but they do put out those lists. Ounce Copper puts out a list. There's a couple places that put out a list. Alright, they're overinflated, knock off 15%. So if they tell you that there's 0.2 grams of gold in something, knock off 15% and then cut that in half. And that'll give you your 24 karat weight. Now, one of the biggest lies perpetrated, those of you who scrap know this piece. Alright, some of it's missing. This is a Pentium Pro. I bought it off of eBay for $19 to prove it to a friend of mine. There is not 1 gram of gold in a Pentium Pro. Okay? I paid $19, which I thought was outrageous, plus shipping, so it was $23. We had a $50 bet going. Alright, but he and I process is separate. Alright, there is 0.33 grams of gold in a Pentium Pro. Alright, the titanium on the other side would be plated. There's a nice cap like this one in the middle with a mirror. Okay, that's got a little gold under it. Would have the nice gold pins. 0.33 grams of gold. So do not pay $47 for these. There is not a gram of 24 karat gold in these. Period. Alright, be careful of the people. I see people trying to sell 15 or 20 of these for $250. It's worth $2.50. Okay, it would have the gold cap like this one. The gold cap with the pins. Alright, this is a 486. Your 486s, your 386s, your 960s, $3.50. They're a little more heavily plated. Your Motorola's are specialty items. Okay, when somebody is making something, when an electronics company calls them up, it is a specialty item. It can have up to 3 microns on it. Okay, you can pay $3.50 for those, $3 for these, $2.50 for your K5s and K6s, which come with these nice aluminum lids. Now what you do with these is when your chemical gets too polluted with this green color is copper. Okay, when it gets oversaturated, you drop these in and it'll swap out the copper ions with the aluminum ions. You will collect pure copper at the bottom that you can scrap and sell, and it rejuvenates your solution. And you can use it a couple times. Now eventually it's going to burn out and die. It'll get other metals in it, and there's videos on how to get the silver out of your solutions. Okay, please watch the other videos. These green fiber boards, they are in 0.73 microns of 10 karat gold. This would have a field of pins on it. Do not pay more than like 28 cents for these. 26 cents for the smaller ones. There's the 775s, the ones with the dots. I don't know if it's called a D-socket or whatever. I don't care what it is. I'm not a computer geek. It has gold on it. That's all I care about. Alright. Don't pay more than 15 cents for the ones with the dots. And the sparks, and the super sparks, don't pay more than $1.50. They have the dots on them too. The ceramics with the dots. Alright. EPROMs. EPROMs have very little gold. I see people trying to sell them as CPUs. There's very little gold in an EPROM. There is some. Motherboards have a little bit of gold. These boards have gold. You know, the nice gold pins, and the pathways are also gold. So I'm going to depopulate this board. I'll cut it up, and I'll get the gold out of the boards. Like I said, the black fibers are very heavily laden with iron. Don't pay more than 75 cents for these. The brown AMD, the brown fiber boards, do not pay more than 40 cents for those. These big green fiber boards do not pay more than 28 or 30 cents for these. Okay, remember, it's 0.73 microns at 10 karat gold. Okay, you can buy these green ones by the pound. I see them online, 29 pounds, 40 pounds, 100 pounds. They come with these big heavy heat sinks. This is 90% of your weight. Alright, it's junk metal. You might get $1 or $2 per pound at the scrapyard. And be careful of the people who are selling by the troy pound. A troy pound is 0.83 English Standard pounds. I seen a guy, he was selling things 12.7 troy pounds. Well, that's only 6 pounds. It's just over 6 pounds. Alright, do your math. You have to do your math when you do your chemicals. Do your math when you buy your scrap. Alright, and be careful of those people overcharging for shipping. I had a guy who was going to take the $2.50 for these. Alright, 8 of them. But he wanted to charge me $50 for shipping. That's ridiculous. And he was within 200 miles sending it snail mail. That's stupid. Another guy was going to charge me, he wanted $79 for for 4 Motorola's. I had him on my watch list on eBay, and he wasn't selling. So I talked to him. I contacted him, told him I'd give him $3.50. That's what they're worth a piece. And he said, well, I paid $79 for them. I said, well, just because you overpaid doesn't mean I overpay. It doesn't work that way. You know, I'll buy them from you so you can get some of your money back, but I'm not paying you $79. Chances are he paid $79 for 79 of them. So watch the rip-off bend your grab your ankles, bend over. If you can go to your local computer repair guy, maybe he'd like some extra beer money, buy your scrap from him. Free scrap. This would normally have gold dots on it. There's a sticker I peeled off. Not only do you get the gold on it, you've already paid for it, but then you can take and get $2 off your next ink cartridge. It's a 2-for-1 deal. If you are just starting out, start with your free gold. Okay? Some of your flat screen TVs have a little bit of gold in them, so if you have a broken one, bang into that. The cheapy prepaid cell phones. Clean off whatever doesn't have gold on it. Take some scissors and some shears, cut off whatever doesn't have gold. Alright? Start with the cheapy free stuff if you are a beginner at this. Alright? Because you might screw it up. And you don't want to spend a whole lot of money to screw it up. So practice first on the cheapy stuff. What else? We've gone through the scrap, we've gone through the chemicals. My kicker ending. I've almost forgot about my kicker ending. Okay? Selling your gold. Selling your gold, selling your gold, selling your gold. I sell on eBay. I recommend everybody save some gold because your dollar could be worthless at any minute. It's printed not by the government, but by a group of private banks called the Federal Reserve. And we haven't been on the gold standard since 73 or 76 when Nixon took us off of it. Alright, so your dollar is based on nothing but a kiss and a promise. In Hungary, they were burning paper money because it was cheaper than firewood. It took a whole wheelbarrow full of their money to buy a loaf of bread, and our dollar could become that way. They could tell you it's worthless in a heartbeat, without warning. So save some of your gold and silver. Alright? Now I sell some of it. I sell it on eBay. 22 karat gold is going for about $38 a gram. Alright? Now eBay's in it to make money. They charge me 10% of my profit. If they pay through PayPal, that takes 2%. So that's 12%. So if I want to make 10% over my overhead, okay, including the electric to heat this stuff up and cook it, alright? If I wanted to make 10%, I have to get my chemicals and my scrap cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. I found this on the side of the road. That's the best way to get it. Free. After Christmas, everybody gets a new computer. There's a lot of them on the side of the road. Free, free, free. Okay? But you have to be able to get it cheap enough. I try to get 10%. I might get lucky and get 12% once in a while. Gold prices are kind of down right now at about $12.90 is where they've been hovering. Okay, I expect it to go back up in July. Alright? But for the kicker ending, folks, if you are hard up for money, if you are short on your rent, you're just making it by, you don't have grocery money, please, folks, eat. Pay your rent, pay your credit cards. Okay, my home is paid for. I own my vehicles. My credit cards get paid every month. I do not eat off of this. Unless you can do it at a commercial level, and you will need permits to do that to get rid of your chemicals. I do it as a hobby. I neutralize my chemicals, buy urea, okay? I get everything else I can out of it. Alright, unless you can do this at a commercial level, you will not get rich. I'm sorry to burst a bubble. You can make money. You will not get rich quick. So if you are desperate for money, this is not for you. It's not for you. I'm sorry. But anyway, like I said, I do it as a hobby. I have fun at it. I invite you to try it. Maybe you can make a little money. You know, make it 10, 12%. Be a 10%er. There's nothing wrong with that. This is Dad Rule 714. Have fun scrapping. Like me, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Have a great day.